Okay. Raise your hand, whoever came home from work yesterday and got something to eat and passed out from staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the election results. Raise your hand. I'm one of those people. Well, as a lot of people that have followed me, get down off me. As a lot of people that have followed me for a while know that I'm not a Republican. I mean, they know this. They know that I bashed Bush. I bashed, a lot of things that he did against the Constitution. And I will do the same with Donald J. Trump. Even though I voted for Donald J. Trump, if he starts abusing the Constitution of the United States, which is what I'm all about, then I'm going to bash him. So all you people out there that are apprehensive that I only bash Obama because of the knucklehead stuff that he's done to this country by bypassing Congress and his pen and phone and all the things that he's done to this country, like our gross national product to our debt, which is almost 102%, which is ridiculous and unattainable. We can't spend more than we bring in, and no one can, and as a country we can't do it at all. But rest assured, all you people out there that are chomping at Gregory's feet about, oh, you're just an Obama basher, that's not true. And I promise you that if Trump gets in here and starts doing stuff that's not constitutionally correct and starts going by that great document that made this country great for hundreds of years, then you can bet that I'm going to be on his butt complaining, because that is what I do as a conservative independent who is all about the Constitution. Now, I know some of you find that hard to believe and don't grasp what I try to teach people. Okay, and that's okay, because we all have our opinions. Okay, but I am going to say this, as if some of you noticed some of the things that I posted this morning were about some pro-Trump Republican videos and stuff. Jamal was one guy that I posted 2 videos on, who is constantly called an Uncle Tom, a house nigga, and whatever other else slur that people want to give him from the people on the left. And he is basically 100% right on the fact that BLM, all that liberal LBGT, which is, bathroom stuff, I don't have a problem with people wanting to be with a woman, or a man wanting to be with a man, or, whatever you want to do. You want to be a woman and live like a man, that is perfectly fine, and that is your choice. And I support you in that choice. Okay? But when you try to change things like Target did, which lost billions of dollars on their decision about this bathroom stuff, not everybody is kosher with that stuff. Okay? And it shouldn't be forced upon them. And that's exactly what was tried to do, is President Obama, tried to force these things onto people, and it backlashed. And I also find it ironic that I've seen polls up to 46% to 35% didn't vote this year. Now, that is a huge percentage of people that didn't get out to vote. And I have one thing to say about that. Is that because the black community didn't come out and vote because there was no one of color running in this race? Because that's the only thing that liberal left democratic mindset cares about is the color of the person running. What did Obama do for the black community? Except increase unemployment. I mean, I have posted plenty of videos of black conservatives talking about the Democratic plantation, and they get it. They get that the Democratic Party wants you dependent on the government. They want you dependent on the crappy school systems that they provide to keep your children and keep poor white people's children stupid and in the dark. They get it. They get what the Democratic Party represents. They want you on the government tit. They want the government so big that millions and millions and millions of people can only survive on the government tit. Under Obama's regime, the people on food stamps has more than doubled under his presidency. You know, these are facts that people refuse to look at. Not only has he almost doubled the gross national product to debt ratio to 102%, he has lost workers who are no longer on the unemployment scroll because their benefits have ran out and they are no longer counted. So the numbers that they want to put out, like factcheck.org, Snoops and stuff, if you do some research on these companies that put these polls out that all you liberals like to throw out there and stuff, they're all owned by liberals. Look it up, do the history on the people that own them, follow the money. Because the money doesn't lie. The money tells everything. You know? And then when someone like me who actually does do research and does do fact-checking through sites like usgov.com on the actual numbers of Barack Obama, I'm a racist, I'm a bigot, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm everything else. Well, you people that want to say that and want to dispute facts from our actual government that are putting the facts out, the actual numbers, not your liberal biased factcheck.org and Snoops and all these other bullshit sites, the actual U.S. government numbers. You are the people that put Trump in office. A lot of you didn't vote. B, your nonsense with the rioting in Ferguson, Baltimore, all across the country with Black Lives Matter, and the nonsense about hands up, don't shoot, which was a total lie, and just the nonsense that you guys have rioted and destroyed cities. The real Americans, and I'm talking about everyday Joes that work in some small county in Missouri, some small county in Iowa, some small county in Montana, some small carbon county in Wyoming, voted this nonsense completely out the door. Obama, won 2 elections. I will give him that. And he got a lot of people to come out and vote. Okay, when a lot of conservatives didn't vote. Now, the complete opposite has happened in this election. Okay, a lot of people that voted for Obama didn't come out. I don't know why. I can't say why, but in my opinion, it's because the candidates were not black, and a lot of black voters did not bother to go out and vote because Obama wasn't running. I mean, that's what I see, that's what I hear. And the fact that the liberal media to this day is still bashing Trump and promoting all the things on the media today that's, hey, we're Trump protesters, Trump this, Trump anti this. The media is still pushing the same agenda that got most conservative, heartfelt Americans out to vote in record numbers to create a landslide victory for Donald Trump. That's what the liberal left is failing to realize, is that their constant screaming bigotry, racism, this, that, the other thing, when someone doesn't agree with them because we're intolerant, is exactly what exploded in their face. Because in true reality, the liberal left, Black Lives Matter, they are the ones that are intolerant. And they are the ones that are causing huge amounts of damage to cities who what? Who voice their opinion? They got a guy on TV today standing out in front of his storefront in Portland, I do believe, with a handgun threatening to shoot protesters, and he voted for Hillary, but yet they're tearing up his store. That is the liberal left that brought every conservative on this country to come out and vote. Because believe it or not, when conservatives are doing well and they're paying their bills and they're making money and they're living their life, they don't go out and politic. Okay? They just keep on keeping on and they get their shit done. All those people that usually don't pay attention to this stuff came out and voted, and Donald Trump won by a landslide. And all you people talking about the popular vote, that's a bunch of horse crap too. We saw hundreds of videos from Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Iowa, a lot of these states that George Soros owned the voting machines. You all know who George Soros is. The one that finances Black Lives Matter. You know, the communist George Soros that brags about bringing countries down that were in his way of a one world government. Yeah, that same George Soros. But the only difference is Trump got people to wake up to the fact that these things would be happening, and people got in there and they made them fix those voting machines right on the spot. They posted their videos of trying to vote for Trump, Pence, and it going to Hillary. You know, time and time and time again. The only difference is they made the pollsters fix those machines on the spot, and then they went back in and voted and made sure that their votes count. That's the difference, folks. Okay, and you can't deny that the videos aren't there because they're there. There's hundreds of them all over YouTube from normal people like me and you going into the polls. When I went up here to vote for me, I asked for a paper ballot, and the lady looked at me like I was fucking crazy. And I told her, I said, look, lady, I want a paper ballot. Give me my paper ballot because I'm not trusting your George Soros-owned voting machines. So you're going to give me my paper ballot. And the lady looked at me like I was crazy and I was some kind of freak. Okay, obviously this woman was a liberal left. I could tell by her attitude, and I could tell by her demeanor when I asked for a paper ballot, because I was not going to trust a George Soros-owned voting machine, which is what we have here in Arizona. And she was like, well, the machines are just fine for voting, sir. I said, ma'am, did you not hear what I said? I will not trust a George Soros-owned voting machines, and that's who owns the voting machines here in Arizona. Give me my paper ballot so that I can fill it out. I have my ink pen. I am ready to go as soon as you give me my paper ballot. This minute's 13 minutes long. Facebook Nuggets, enjoy this. I got to go to work. It's, you know, they changed my shift. I'm 9 to 6 now, which I can't stand. But it is what it is. And all these people doubting that I will not bash Trump, let Trump start messing with my constitutional rights and start trying to restrict what the Constitution says my alienable rights are, and I will be so far up Trump's ass just like I was so far up Obama's ass, and just like I was so far up Bush's ass. Okay? These are promises. And the people that know me and truly have been around me know that this is what will happen from me if Trump starts bypassing Congress and not taking the right steps to get things done. I mean, this is the first time in 224 years that Republicans own the governors, they own the Congress, they own the Senate, and the presidency. That should tell you liberal nut jobs that we're tired of your communist, constitution bypassing, progressive communist ways, where we are not going to tolerate it anymore. And my suggestion to you is if you don't like what it is, then you need to move to places like Cuba. You need to move to places that will accept that kind of lifestyle that you want to live. Because here in America, the Constitution rules supreme. This is not a democracy. Okay? The 25 counties that hold 46% of the population that are consistently liberal do not get to run the country, folks. I'm sorry. That's why we are a republic. That's why we have an electoral college. That is why the majority does not rule. I'm out. Have a lovely day. And, you know, just remember what I said. If Trump starts circumventing our Constitution, you can guarantee that I will be up his butt like I've been up Obama's butt, like I've been up Bush's butt, like I've been up all their butts. All these people in Congress that kept their seats, they need to be put on check. That if you start going against what we the people decided, then you need to go. And term limits need to be set and everything else. But this is 16 minutes. I'm out.